Thank you, PJ. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Gloria Horn Sewing Studio. This is Tuesdays with Tiffany, and I'm Tiffany. I have PJ here with me, and we're actually over in the new studio where we can do live classes. I don't know any schedules, so I can't answer that. But anyway, we are going to get started on the Morgan bag. But first, I need to do a little bit of business. So if you're new to Gloria's, there's many ways to watch. You can watch through Comments Sold. You can watch through our website, which is gloriahorn.commentsold.com. You can also watch on YouTube. You can watch on Instagram. You can watch on Twitter. I think there's a couple others, but PJ left the room, so I can't tell you what those are because I can't remember. But lots of ways to be able to watch us. If you're new, we want you to register. So on Facebook, you can go in and type register, and it'll bring a pop-up, and you'll just put your information in. The best way, though, to watch the shows and to shop, if you'd like to shop with us, is to go to our app. So on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, it's just Gloria Horn Sewing Studio. It's a little sewing machine, and you'll go in and you'll register for that as well. There are certain days, certain shows that you have to go a little bit faster, and so the app is a little better for that. And so I just so you know up front, usually I respond to comments as I see them as much as I can. Because we're in this other space, I can't see comments, so I won't be able to comment to you today, but I will go back and listen to them or read them. So please put your comments in, because one of the things we're going to talk about, just hit on, where the details aren't final yet. I had talked about it briefly last week. I snuck in on Joni's show, is an upcoming bag club that I'm going to get started in the relative near future. And so in fact, since I brought it up, I might as well talk about it, right? So the bag club, I'm looking at getting it started on a quarterly basis. And I'm going to pull up my cheat sheet because I have a little bit of information on what I'm doing, but I'm still researching what I want to do. Oh, PJ just set up an iPad for me with comments. So comment away. I can like look down and see things. So I see Evelyn on there. And so hi, Evelyn. All right, so the bag club, what I'm thinking is each quarter we'll get 3 bags. Another idea I had was we could work off of like a book or something like that. So somehow there will be 3 bags included in there. We've got little Deb at the door. Come on in. You can come on in. It's okay. I'll talk and talk to you too. So, but with the bag club, like I said, we'll do a minimum 3 patterns. We may have one of the main patterns be a book instead of a paper pattern. There'll also be, did you need me?
No, I want to see you do it.
Oh, okay. Deb's just going to stand here and watch me.
Yep.
So we can do, we'll do one of my patterns. So it'll be a Gloria exclusive, at least during the club time. So, and the club will last quarterly. And then you'll get either a book or a pattern, and then we'll have a bonus pattern in there as well. So those things will be in there. We're talking about whether or not to do it as a full kit. So you can do, we'll do hardware, we'll do all the materials that you need to make at least one focus pattern that we will also teach during that quarter. So what I wanted to ask you guys though, and I see on there, I see Judy Bellin, or no, Judy Boehm. Sorry, I thought it was Bellin for a second. Hi from Wisconsin. I get really bad. Deb's here. She's going to see me. I constantly like look over and I'm like, we've got California. We've got all kinds of things. So will there be classes with the club? Yes. So I've got to try and figure that out a little bit, because if you're part of the club, you're getting those patterns, and we may need to do like a separate Facebook group. And so we've got to work out that detail a little bit. That's probably something I'm going to have to discuss with PJ, and I haven't had a conversation with him at all yet. So, but the other idea was to do just patterns. So there may be an option of getting just the patterns or getting the full kit, which would be all the materials and hardware. So again, I'm looking for input. I would love to hear what you have to say. And even though I can't necessarily go through and read all your comments now, if you make a comment just during the show at all today, I will go back and I will read those. And I'll use that to help me determine how we're going to put this club together. So, all right. I think that's it for Bag Club. So we are going to get started on the Morgan bag. I'm very excited. I know that a lot of you have waited a while. The kits are all done. We have run out of the black basket weave fabric. We can no longer get it. And so I was able to fill all of the Morgan bag kits for it. Those of you who had the Stanley kits in black, I've already talked to you about that and came up with other options. And so we do have some other options we're going to talk about later when we get to the kind of promoting idea or giving you the materials that you need for making things. But so this week, let me just say, in the kits, you would have gotten your fabrics and hardware as well as the 2 bonus patterns. So we have the toiletry bag and the wallet. And then the patterns we have now gotten in. So you can also order the patterns again. Bye, Deb. Thanks for visiting. Do you want to say hello? Deb's going to be on at 3 today, and she's acting shy right now. She's one of my absolute favorite people here. So if you get to come in and meet Deb, isn't she amazing?
We're going to start Glorious Summer at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes, so, I'm very excited. Wait till you see it. It's really
Kathleen
pretty.
And I. So,
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you even got to do a little plug. So thank you, Deb.
See you at 3.
See ya.
Bye. All right, guys. So back to bag making. So, all right. So like I said, the Morgan bag, the pattern is in stock again. So we have those. And your homework had been to do all the marking and cutting of your pieces. And so I'm going to just slide this over. We'll move this back here. Let's see. Nah, it's not going to work. I'm going to just put them on the floor.
Sure.
I'll clean up later. It's no big deal. All right, so the Morgan bag, I'm going to set behind me. And then I'm going to show you, is it possible to turn it or is that a pain?
I can move a little bit. Yeah.
At least for a minute so I can sort of show them. All right, guys, so you can see these are all my pieces. And I had suggested when you cut them, because we have so many pieces, so back my brain up a little bit. On our website, PJ downloaded for me, I don't know if that's the right word, but he put on there the Morgan Messenger bag adjusted cutting if using faux leather. So this list, I think you can see that there.
Yeah,
Poor PJ, I'm like making him work for it today.
No, that's no problem.
So
Here, if you want to just put it right
lay
there,
it there.
I'll get a good
So
shot
this
of
is
it.
the cutting instructions. And when you look at this, you'll see there are certain items that have a lot to them. And so, oh, perfect. Thank you. So what I like to do is, and I ran out of clothespins, but I like to then go through, and here's everything I needed for C. So for C, I needed 2, put that back up there. I needed 2 of my external fabric. So that's my faux leather. I needed 2 of my lining. I needed 2 bozels, and I needed 2 shape flex. So I needed 8 items that are for B. So I have my 2 lining, my 2 faux leathers, my 2 shape flex, and my 2 bozels, and those are all C. And if you'll look at my clothespin, you'll see I marked it with the letter C. And for me, this works really well because then I can keep everything organized and together. And so even when I use something, then everything else stays marked as that. And so, all right, B was over there. So you can kind of see all of these different pieces. So I don't know exactly how many, I didn't count them, but I would say there's probably close to 50 pieces, and that's kind of a lot to keep track of. So I would recommend doing something like that. So if you kind of followed the instructions just I gave, I didn't do anything in class with it, you may be at this point. If you're not, that's all right. Let's get this done this week. It's just a matter of marking. What I like to use to mark, I'm going to grab these. We'll have these available. PJ's already put them on the list. So there's a few choices here. I kind of overloaded on these, but I brought a lot of choices. My personal favorite is using the Choco liners. We have it in, this one is in pink, and we have it in white. And like I said, PJ has them all on there. You can go through the shop all, and those items will be in there. If they're not now, they will be by the end of the show. And so, so there are multiple choices though. So this is a chalk. I like it because it just brushes off. Now sometimes if you use the chalk, it can get into the fabric and it's hard to get out. And if you press, it can kind of leave a mark. So if you don't like that, I mean, on faux leather, it wipes off really easily. You can use a little bit of water to take that off if you need to. Oh, we've got Iowa, Western New York. I can't help myself. I'm seeing all these people on here. It looks like Ruth Ann is watching. Hi, Ruth Ann. And Carol. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, again, here's a couple other options. We have a white marking pen that's white, fine. I like white because it shows up really well on dark fabrics. We have friction pins. We have the ballpoint style. Now, PJ told me, I didn't realize this, that we are now, in order to help keep them from drying out, we sell them in, we don't separate them from the package any longer. So you'll get I think it's a 3-pack of the ballpoint ones.
2-pack of those are the clickers.
Okay, so this is the clicker style.
Mhm.
You'll get a 2-pack. I think it's a variety of colors. So I don't think it's an assigned color, but these are really nice as well. They're heat erase, so you write on there and then you just iron it and it goes away. So those are really nice as well. These do the same concept. They're also friction pins. They're coming in a pack of 3. Again, we're trying to keep them packaged so that they don't dry out. And these are really nice. The highlighters show up really well. They're easy to mark with. The lines are a little bit fatter typically, although you can go a fine line as well, because when you open them, you can see maybe. Let's see. Oop, there we go.
Right there is good.
It has a chisel point to it. And so,
yeah.
Okay,
Good.
we're good?
Yep.
All right, so that again comes in a pack of 3. And then I have one more that I haven't actually used this for, but it's a water soluble, and it's this DMC brand. And so, I don't know. Oh, there we go. I had to look behind me to see what was showing to you. So anyway, so those are some choices for marking. I think it's really nice to be able to mark. You can see on here I had marked this. It doesn't matter on the foam because it's going to go away, but I had used one of the friction pins, the clickers. So those are some choices on those for marking, which I think are really nice. All right, so again, you're going to go through, you're going to mark. I like to mark on the back of the fabric all my pieces first and then go through and cut them out. And so that way you can change it. So if, let's say, you only have so much fabric, like my son wanted me to use the faux leather, that's the Legacy. Well, it's not as wide as the other fabrics. The basket weave one is 54 inches. This is only like 27. So I really had to maneuver with it and get it to work. If you want to use one of the faux leathers, the Sally Tomato or another brand that we have that's the 27 wide, you'll need 2 yards of that fabric. And we'll go over that again because I have some options for you today that are the faux leather. If you're like, look, I love the bag, but I don't want basket weave. So totally get that. Not a problem. I'm not offended. But I do have some options for you today. So, all right. So that's where we are now. Our next step is going to be to add our interfacing. So I'm going to just open up our pattern really quick. I want to make sure we've got everything. So you can kind of see, I know I can't, yeah, I guess it doesn't have the piece sizing. So these are all the pieces. Look at all that. There's a lot. You don't have to zoom in because I think technically I'm not supposed to show it. And so, but more pieces. So it's 2 pages of pieces. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fuse our interfacing on. I'm going to go ahead and get our iron going. So a lot of the pieces, so when you saw the chart I made, have got exterior fabric, lining fabric, bosal, shape flex, and fusible. So right now I'm going to work on my shape flex and I'm going to get those attached. Most of those go onto our lining. Because we have the faux leather, it's thick enough that it's like it has its own shape flex on it. So I did not cut shape flex for the faux leather. And so, although some of them do have bosal to give them that firmness, like the flap. And so, but those will get stitched on, they'll get basted. All right, so I'm going to cheat and look at this. I'm going to start with number C. So, well, actually, B has got it on it. So B is our flap. We're going to go over here. I've got my, my letter B. And we're just going to take out our lining and our shape flex. And these have been sitting here for a little while. So my pieces are definitely going to need to be pressed And so we'll get those pressed really quick and put them on. I'm not going to do every piece today because I think that might get a little boring for you if I were doing that, but I'll do a couple. I'll probably do B and C, and then that way we can do a little bit with the shape flex and we can do a little bit with the bosal. And then the assignment for all of us this next week will be to finish attaching all of our interfacings. And so one thing I did as well, your choice obviously on how you do it, is I left everything squared. So I squared all my pieces. They are rounded, so they will be rounded, but they're not yet. I thought it would be easier for applying the shape flex, doing the initial stitching, to just leave it like this. And so when we get to stitching, that's when I'm going to mark one, and we'll go ahead and we'll stitch along that, and then we'll cut. That way, if things shift a little bit, we've got some wiggle room and we don't have to be quite so cautious. And so, Kathy's our first time on here. Well, hi, Kathy. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. We do have kits that'll be available. They may be on there already. We'll talk about that when we're done with this. I'll get a little further in here. But yeah, typically we try and have kits available. So we'd have those available really for about the last month and a half. It's taken us a while to get to this point to actually teach the class. So anyway, like I was saying, those edges, just like E is our side gusset for the bag. So you see the side gusset is here. It has a shape, so it's narrow at the top than the bottom. I cut it at a straight rectangle, and then that'll get cleaned up later, and so reshaped. All right, so I think our iron is ready. So we're gonna go ahead. I should have brought over a little spray for this, but I didn't think to. Turn it over. This is when I need Joni. She is our expert ironer. She's always so good at doing that, so I can keep moving on to the next step. There we go. All right. So I mentioned also when I popped in last week that I had been in London for spring break, and which was fantastic. Had an amazing time, and I actually got the opportunity to go to what's called Stitch Festival there, and all kinds of like fiber arts and sewing and fabrics, and just it was really a neat experience. And then I got to go to their fabric area. So it's a street with a bunch of fabric stores, probably 20 fabric stores, and so. Anyway, I was going to show you guys this week some of the fabrics and like a couple projects that I'm doing with it. And then, however, I got called in for jury duty, which I knew there was a chance, but I don't know. I'm living in my own little dream world and thought, they're not going to call me up. They won't need me. I was a deferral. So, but they did. And so off I went. So I had jury duty yesterday, which was one of the days because my kids are in school that I can get a lot done. And then the other thing going on at our house is a construction project that we've been waiting for the contractors to have availability and get all the supplies for at least 6 months. And so they let us know on Friday that they're coming this Wednesday. So anyway, my last few days that I typically do things outside of Gloria's and even to prep for Gloria's, we're filled with getting ready for construction and jury duty. So are we going in and out, or is it just?
There's a little pop in and out there, but I think we're okay.
Oh, Gail has jury duty on Thursday. Oh, and Marilyn, your granddaughter got engaged at the London Eye. How cool. Oh my goodness, how fun. Yeah, so London's a great city. But anyway, like I said, I got distracted with all the stuff going on at home, so I wasn't able to get that ready for you guys. So next week I'm hoping to do kind of a little overview of London. They're like high fashion. We had the chance to go to Harrods and see, I think they call them It Girls because they have it, I guess. I don't know. I didn't actually look up why they call them It Girls, but they were dressed like head to toe in Chanel 4-inch heels, these gorgeous little handbags. And so anyway, I took lots of pictures and I have lots of fun ideas for us. And I wanted to kind of share that with you. So, all right, I'm going to just show you. Here's my B. I did the, I pressed our Shape Flex onto there. So we've done that one. I'm going to do number C, and then after that, I'm going to do the Bosal and show you that. So, so here's our C. I want to make sure I keep my clothespin. So they're just regular clothespins, and again, I just wrote the letter on there. Makes it nice and easy to hold on to. All right, so we've got this on here. All right. Keep that. All right. Oh, someone's not seeing comments.
Yes, that was the issue we were having. Well, Comments Hold was having
Okay.
last week.
Oh, someone else is seeing them.
I see comments. Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, someone just pointed out the tip. You swipe left, I think. So down towards the bottom, you just slide over to the left. And sometimes that'll make the comments come up, just in case. If you've slid to the right, that makes the comments go away so you can see the whole screen. And so, all right. So we're almost done with these couple pieces. So item C had 2 pieces of lining. And so, I can't remember what C is, but I think it says it on here. C is the main panel. So that's our exterior of the bag. So this will be the lining for that. All right. I haven't made it yet, but I'm going to make as well an outline of what we'll be doing each week. So obviously week 1, we were doing our marking and cutting. And so which we kind of did a little bit of a class on that, even though I sort of consider this to be week 1. And so we've done that. And then this week we're putting on our interfacings. So that'll be our week 2. And then week 3, we're going to get started on our lining. So I think in total, if we count this as week 2, we're going to be at about 5 weeks. And so, and part of that's because we're taking small steps. We're not trying to rush through the project, but I wanted to give you an idea of about how long this will take. And so I'm hoping to have the first quarter of Bag Club kind of finalized in probably the next 2 weeks. And so what I'll do is that'll get kind of promoted. And that way, when we're done with this, we'll be able to get that started. And so, all right, well, that looks good. One more, and then we're going to go ahead and do the Bosal next. So, Kathy asked what fabrics I'm ironing. So this is my lining fabric. Here's my lining. I'm using this grunge. This is not part of one of the kits. This is what my son picked. So, but if you really like this grunge and you really like that legacy leather, black legacy leather, we can make that work. So I didn't bring this fabric on, but again, if you comment that, hey, I really like the fabrics you used, let me know. We can make a kit for it, or we can even just sell the fabric on its own so that you can swap it out or just use it on your own. So comments are always helpful because then I can accommodate you. But anyway, so then the white fabric, I don't think I said that even though you asked, is Shape Flex. So it calls for a medium weight interfacing, and so I went with the Shape Flex. And so I think it could call for medium weight. Let's see, is that what they called it? I just called it Shape Flex on here. I'd have to look at the pattern. But so I used Shape Flex, and I used just kind of basically a scrap of heavyweight fusible fleece, and then a little bit of Bosal. I shouldn't say a little. There was quite a bit of the Bosal that I used. And so, and we'll have all those, like the interfacings available to you because the kits do not include the interfacing. I know a lot of us kind of stock up on that and have a lot of it. So rather than having you pay for something you already may have in your big making supplies. I kept it separate. All right, so I miscut this. It's just a little bit wider. Not a big deal, of course. We'll get to trim that later. All right, so we're going to put that back with our C's. And so, put it on top. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do, so we're going to pretend that we've done that with everything. We've gone through and we've attached our shape flex to all of our pieces that need it. So when you look on here, it'll be all of these pieces. And so the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to attach the bozal. So typically I would use a walking foot. We didn't have the walking foot over here in this studio. So I'm going to use, I believe it's a Teflon foot, which should work nicely for us as well. And so, but here's my, this just happens to be single-sided fusible. It doesn't need to be fusible because what we're going to do is for the flap, it's going to get basted on here. Now this does have a curve to it. I'm going to just mark it on here and then I'm going to stitch it on here as I baste so that it stays on there, but I'm not going to worry about that way. If it slides just a smidge, it'll be okay. Because it's the, it has the flannel back to it. It sticks pretty nicely to this. I do like to use clips. We also have clips available today. So again, if you go into that shop all, they're in there. But I like to put a couple in all the way around. And the reason for that is just so it doesn't slide. It does kind of stick there, but better to be safe. All right, and I'm going to make these my rounded corners down here. Put that down here in the middle. Now, I like to put the colored side up, so it's the curved side and the flat side down. I don't know that it really matters, but it's just something I like to do. And so I have, so when I did my pattern, I cut out the pieces. I traced them onto just like craft type paper. So I'm going to use this for marking my corners here. I believe, do we have a chalk pencil?
Chalk pencil.
I thought I had one, but I don't think I have one that's open. So, let's see, let me chalk one more spot, guys. Sorry for this.
Open
We could. I was going to try one more spot. Let's see if I have it in here. Nope, I have a stray M&M, but no chalk marker. So we'll go ahead and we can use one of these. You could use, actually, we'll use this. I think this will work just fine. So I'm just going to use one of our clickers. I want to make sure it's working. So I'm going to just mark it on here real quick. All right. So I'm not sure if this will be as visible as the chalk, but it'll work just fine. We're going to be stitching on it. This is going to go into our seam, so it's not a big deal. And so we have someone coming in who's having their machine worked on. So
do you mind, here, I'll just zoom in on Tiffany's hand so that you don't have to be in the background.
Oh,
We're doing like
we have a customer coming through.
But
We're live right now.
Sorry. Yeah,
No, you're okay.
Okay, I'll just zoom in on your hands and
Okay.
making the cuts there.
All right, so we're just marking this. And again, this is probably not the best marker. This is when having the white chalk marker is much better. And so, but I can kind of see it on here, and we're just gonna stitch around that. Now you could also cut this now if you want, but like I said, I like to just wait, and that way if it slides just a smidge, it's not gonna bother me. And so since PJ stepped away, I'm gonna go ahead, I'll mark another one. We'll go ahead and mark C. No, that's okay. So a lot of times customers, when they come in, are camera shy. So we try not to make them go on camera if they don't actually want to. So, all right. Actually, I think we can just do one. We'll just do one. Let me reattach this so I don't mess it up. We're going to go to the sewing machine now.
Sure.
And so, all right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to baste all the way around. And I'm going to use a zigzag stitch. I believe that's how she had me do it. I'm going to reread it just to make sure that let's see. Smooth. Actually, she wants a 1/4 inch and then trim the foam back. Okay, so I was wrong. I'm glad I reread it. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to do a 1/4 inch all the way around. We're going to use our mark as our line. So we'll go 1/4 inch all the way around. We're going to leave the top part open, I believe. And so double check that one more time. Let's see. Yep, we're going to go actually all the way around. So all the way around, watching our corners, 1/4 inch, and then we're going to go back and we're going to trim away the foam from that seam allowance. So I'm going to go right back here to this machine and put this back up here. All right. Now, here's another thing on here. You want to make sure you've got a new needle. If you're having any trouble, try using a jeans needle. I like either a 90 or a 100. If you're getting skip stitches, that's a good time to try our stretch needle. And so I have those available as well for you today. And so if it's just kind of a troubleshooting kind of concept, you may not have any trouble whatsoever, but a fresh needle is a huge help. And so again, we're going to do a 1/4 inch.
Just watch your step here.
All right.
Pardon us. No problem.
I am so sorry. I didn't even think to look for a foot pedal.
Marie Lacey comes in all the time. Are you the one that helps her? Check stuff?
No, not me. That might be Steve. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
Do we have a foot pedal here?
Foot pedal.
Yes,
Oh my
I didn't
goodness.
even think of there not being one, so it did
Yeah,
a job
right
on me to
here.
look.
I got you.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right. So having all your supplies in place is also a good idea.
That's a good idea.
So thank you. Awesome. All right. There we go, guys. So again, 1/4 inch. We're going to go ahead. I'm just on the 3 stitch. I'm going to put my stitch length up because we are just basting. So I put it at a 3.5 millimeters. You can see that right there. And again, I did the 3, so it's just down the center. And then off we go. Now I'm hoping this foot works all right for us. I really do like using the walking foot, but all right, so here we go. Looks like it's going through okay. It's moving a little bit on me, but not bad. This is my straight side. All right, there we go. Just gonna clip this down on here. And I'm using the inside of my foot as my guide for that 1/4 inch. I can see that it's lined up right here on my line. And now we're gonna do this curve, so just take your time going around that curve.
How about, Marie asked, how about the digital dual feed?
Yes, that would be ideal. So this is another one of those being over in this
Yeah.
studio versus the other that I thought there were more supplies over here than there are. And so this is my first time teaching over here. So I just didn't quite have everything here I thought. And so, But yes, Marie, that is a great idea. I'm glad you brought it up because that is definitely, it helps pull it through because I'm really trying to guide it by holding on to the back and then the front as well. So I can see it's getting a little wavy on me because it's almost like I'm stretching it a bit. And so. But again, this is our basting stitch, so it's going to be okay. It'll all work. It'll work back in there. It's not, I'm keeping it pretty close. And so, and going forward, everything we do, we'll do with that walking foot. Oop, a little too far. All right. Alrighty, there we go. Oh, it's kind of short on my stitch. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut that. And now that we've done that, we can go back and we're going to cut away the edges. Let's see, we don't have any normal scissors there, so we're going to go ahead and just use these little clippers to give you an idea. All right. So again, I recommend you have the right supplies, but over here I have the little snips, the Fomori snips, which are fantastic for embroidery and in a lot of things in life, but for this, probably not our best option. But what I'm going to show you is you're just going to go through here. And they're not horrible for this because you do want to get nice and close to your stitches, but just careful not to clip them. So I don't know if you can pull up close to this.
Sure.
We'll just go ahead and work with what we've got. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
And so you can see I pulled back the exterior and I'm just going nice and close to this, but not cutting it. So we just want to get the bulk out of those seams. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way around and do that. So we got that corner. You can kind of see on here. We'll go down here. So we're doing the same thing. And you just want to pull that out. And we'll just keep doing that. And so, trying to see. It's hard for me to see if you can see me. No, I'm not telling you. I was trying to tell them like, okay, if I go off. All right, so I can see. We'll just go through. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that on all our pieces. And I'm going to just stop there on that one. But so we're going to go through all of them. And that's what we'll do for this week is we're going to go ahead and prep all these pieces, get all of our interfacing on. So, so for next week, you'll have all your pieces cut out. You'll have your interfacing put on them. So just like we do here. So this is our letter B. So that's our flap. So we're going to have that all ready to go. I'd also like you just kind of go through the pattern and read it. Be prepared. We're going to start the lining next week. There's a lot of steps to it. So it's going to be a big week for us. I know this week was a little light. I wanted to make sure since a lot of you just got your kits this last week, I knew you probably didn't have a chance to mark your fabrics and get those cut out yet. So I wanted to kind of tie these two together. So again, this week is going to be get all those interfaces put on, get your bozal put on, and that way we'll be set for next week to really hit the ground running and get this bag looking like something. So that's kind of all I have for the teaching side of today. And then I'm going to show you some of the products that might be useful for you, or if you're wanting to do the bag, some things that you may need in order to do that. So if you're buying one of the, let's see, I'm trying to think, normally if you're buying a kit, you get 2 free patterns. And so those free patterns, I showed them in the beginning and then I threw them on the floor to get them out of the way. So I pick them back up. So you would get these as your bonus patterns. So you get the main bag, which is the Morgan Messenger bag. But then in those kits, you'll also get, this one was one of my Tiffini bags that I had done and wrote the pattern for. This was a pattern I found online, but then I modified it and added my own instructions. The first time when I taught it where it was turned and it turned out terrible. So the new instructions allow for a raw edge. It turns out nice and sleek, easy to use, but it's really just fun because it matches the whole thing. Let's see. I'm looking at, oh, Carol's suggesting using SF101 to stretch. I don't know if I would try and put SF101 on because the heat might change the texture of your faux leather. So I'm not sure if I would put that on there, but I do think using a walking foot, I've never had a problem with it stretching before. It was me trying to use an item that wasn't really made for this. So I also thought I had the Teflon foot. It wasn't Teflon. So lesson learned, make sure you've got your supplies before you get started. And if you're going live, you definitely should make sure. So anyway, but again, I've never had that problem before. So I really, if you use your walking foot, you'll be perfectly fine. And so let's see. And Carol, the reason I didn't use the walking foot is we're in the other studio, which I've never used before, and we didn't have a walking foot over here. And as we got closer to time was when I realized there's not one here. So anyway, I apologize I didn't have the right materials or right item, but we've got that. All right. So I think we have some products to show you. So I mentioned before, if you like the black, unfortunately, we no longer have the black in the basket weave. We do have the brown. The brown comes with a teal. I did not bring over the kit, but I think PJ has it
in the bubble. Yeah,
it's in the bubble. So the brown one you can see, it's really nice. It's this same material, but I'll show you kind of walk through the bag with you. So the flap has this really nice big pocket, goes all the way across. The kits include the hardware and the zippers. So it's here it's got a big pocket in the back, which is really nice. It has magnetic snaps, another zipper here, so nice and safe. Inside, it has a little tab and a big pocket back here that is padded. On the other side is another pocket. So here's another, and it's a zipper pocket, so really nice. And then it's a little hard to see, but over here it's two pockets, and they're expandable, so they stretch out. Can they see it? I think kind of. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so just lots of great pockets on this. There are also bag feet on this. This one doesn't have the bag feet because I didn't have them at home, but the kits include the bag feet so that you can put those on there. But just a really great bag for all purpose. Anybody could use it. It's not you know, girly or anything. That was kind of the point, was to do something that was gender neutral that you could make for anybody. And so again, that's the Morgan. The brown kit has the brown, and it has a teal colored interior. We have a pearl one that has a red interior. I don't know if that's on there or not, but
yep, it's available. It's in
awesome.
in the bubble as well.
Thank you. We have the pattern, so the Morgan messenger bag. This is a Mrs. H pattern, and I am in love with this pattern. It is so easy to follow. It's very, very detailed, and there's a lot of steps, I won't lie, but if you just follow these steps and you go little by little, you will have an amazing bag. And so again, it's Mrs. H. It comes in two sizes. This is the large one. It is the large is 14.5 by 12 by 4. The small is 11.5 by 9 by 3.5, so a little bit smaller. But again, it's just a really great bag. Really great pattern, easy to follow. It says the Morgan Messenger is in two sizes, perfect gender neutral device carrying companion with secure top zip closure and flap. The small size fits a tablet up to size 12.1. Large accommodates a laptop up to 15.4-inch screen. So to give you an idea of what will fit in there. So anyway, that's the Morgan Messenger bag. And we did get more of those patterns in. So I know some of you we'd been waiting for a while, and even potentially I was going to pick them up while in London, but they did get those sent out to us. So
Lena asks, which walking foot would you use?
So I really like the digital dual feed walking foot. It came with my Solaris, and I think it's fantastic. I have used, there's a metal one. I don't know what it's called. I apologize. And it's really nice as well. I think it might just be the mechanical one. And so I think pretty much any walking foot is going to really help you in moving those things along. The dual feed though, because it has the roller on it that helps move that fabric. It just really keeps everything consistent. And so, great question. Thank you. And so, yeah, someone else asked about the digital dual foot. Yep, that's the one I like. That's that you're talking about. So.
Next is the.
And I promise
Yep.
next week I will have it. So I'll bring mine from home just in case. Are we doing the leathers next or you want to do the Stanley?
Stanley is up next.
Okay. So if any of you are a little nervous about this bag, but you like the bag, there is an option of doing the Stanley satchel. And the Stanley satchel is kind of like the little brother of Morgan. It's also a Mrs. H pattern. It has the same shape, but it's a little simpler to make. And so, in fact, that's kind of what she writes on here is the Stanley satchel has a classic shape, touches of detail, and is a quick sew. The Stanley features an interior zip pocket, interior slip pockets, a beginner-friendly gusset, and a rigid base, and a little bit of bling. So you can kind of see in that picture, it is the same as the small size Morgan, so it's tablet size. It isn't computer size unless you have a small computer. But it is an easier bag to make. It's simpler. So if you like the idea of a messenger bag, but are feeling a little overwhelmed by a lot of the zippers and things like that, then this could be a nice step into it for you. And so again, that's the Stanley satchel. We do have kits for this one as well. We did the same kits. Black is also not available any longer in this, but the brown and the pearl both are. So, all right.
So we're talking about the dynamic walking foot, I believe, is what somebody in the comments said. So I'll just throw that in the bubble real quick.
Oh, okay.
But next we have...
Oh, is the metal one? Yeah.
Yeah.
The metal is nice. So both are really nice, and so.
And now we have the leathers.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think these are our 1 yard ones, right?
The first two, yes.
Okay.
The Black Legacy and Cherry will be half-yard measurements.
Okay, wait. Which is half?
Those two, yes.
These are half.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
All right, I did it backwards from what I meant to do. So ignore these for just a second. I'm going to do this a little easier for you guys. So my son had wanted the faux Legacy black leather. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll do that. I wasn't sure exactly how much, but now after cutting it, I had thought I could get away with 1.5 yards, but you need 2 yards to do that. So if you are interested in kind of creating your own kit, I have these 2 fabrics I'm going to start with. They're both faux leathers. I have 4 colors in total. These ones are available by the yard. For whatever reason, our system, the other 2 are half yards. So on these, you'll need to order 2. We'll do it a continuous cut in order for you to have enough for the bag. The first one is a charcoal gray. It's really nice. And it's got a little variation in color. And it's got a really kind of the texture is smooth to the touch, but it looks like cowhide. So really nice fabric. The back is got like a nice thick flannel to it. And so it's really nice to work with. It's the Sally Tomato product. It is about 27 inches wide. And so that's why you need such a long length. So you need, like I said, about 2 yards of this in order to make the bag. So if you want to use it, just make sure you order 2. And I will make sure that we get those to you in a continuous length, knowing that it's for the bag. And so the gray one, again, is available in 1 yard. So just make sure you're checking the description. It should be 1 yard and you need 2. The other one is one that Steve, who just walked in the door,
His ribs.
had really loved. And this is such a great fabric. So this is, and some of you may have these fabrics already. I didn't pull in any new ones. I just, someone just got their kit while we were on. Hey, that's great, Sharon. And so this is a really nice dark navy crocodile. It's beautiful. So I think this would be a really neat bag. If anyone decides to make it, I definitely want to see pictures. So please post. But anyway, so again, you'll need 2 yards of this and just really nice. So I don't know if you can see that real well. The texture's beautiful on it. And so again, 2 yards of that one. All right, here we go. So again, those ones are in 1 yard increments as far as how you order. These other ones for whatever reason, we have these ones listed as half-yard cuts. So that's why I wanted to do them separately. Here is the black that Jake wanted. And so you'll need 4 of this one in order to have enough for the bag. So this is the solid black Legacy. So just a real classic look, very nice. Again, it's the Sally Tomato product. So very easy to work with, 27 inches wide, to give you a feel for that. So, all right. And then the last one is the cherry color, which super fun. And I was just trying to look for fabrics that we had currently in stock. So if there's something that you're like, oh, I would really like to make one, but I want a brown Legacy, or I'm looking for a purple one, or let me know and we'll see if those might be an option. So anyway, so again, this is the cherry color. It's the Legacy. Again, you'll want to order, if you want it for the bag, you'll want to order 4 half yards so that you get a full 2 yards. And I'll be looking to make sure that they get cut as 2-yard increments. So again, that's the cherry Legacy.
Okay.
All right. Get those put away. Oh, we didn't do those again.
Yeah, they were just next in
Okay.
on the list. So
I'm going to clip these so I don't forget.
that is a good idea with the clothespins.
Clothespins are amazing. All right, so we have the all the taco markers again, and so I'm not sure what order they're in, but we've got.
You see the white and then the pink.
Oh, okay. So we have the white Choco liner pen, and it's the fine point. Is it the fine point or the roller? It's the tapered roller. So really nice. It can do straight lines and it can do curves. This is what I use at home all the time. I love this one. And then this is the one, the pink has the tapered point. And so, although it looks like it has both. Oh, that's cool. So it has the flat line that rolls, and then this is turned sideways so you can see that it's just a point. So both of them are the same. You can get it in either white or in the pink.
Okay, and then next up we have water-soluble iron-off marking pen.
Okay.
I believe that's the one, right?
This one? No, this one?
That one, yeah.
All right, so this one is an iron away marker, and it's a Clover product, white marking pen. So it's just, I think it's like a normal pen. And so disappears with the use of iron or when washed. So either way it comes out, and so, which is nice. And so.
And then the other one you have.
Probably not going to wash your bag, but it's nice to know you could. So.
Embroidery transfer pen, that's the DMC.
Yeah, so this one is an embroidery transfer pen, so it's water soluble. So again, this one you would be washing out. You stitch over the lines. It comes off blue, and then you can just, so it comes out that blue color, and you'll be able to wash it away. So there's that. All right, I did these already.
Okay, I did have them briefly in the bubble, but if you just want to.
Sure. So we also have the friction clicker pins, and so, and the friction highlighter pins. And so.
Okay.
All right.
Clips.
Clips. So we have 2 different kinds of clips, which are kind of fun. So you can have kind of your basic all colors. So there's green and pink and orange and purple, I don't know, all kinds of colors. And so that it comes with 100 clips. They're assorted colors, but the sizes are all the same. So really nice. Perfect for making bags. And then this one is a cute little bag, a little container. And so this one is a little vintage one. So this would be cute, like for little sisters, or you see the little girls on there, or best friend, or just friend in general. But they're very sweet. It's kind of funny looking at these vintage pictures. We're getting ready for this construction project to start tomorrow morning. And I found in one of the cabinets some old photo books. Well, one of them is my grandmother's baby book. And so I have all these pictures that are they're almost 100 years old because she was born in 1928. And so it was so fun to go through and see like her, my great grandparents and her and all these little ones. But this reminds me of like all the little dresses and things she was in. It's very sweet. So this one also has, I believe, 100 clips in it. It does. So it's 100 clips, and they're also multicolored. So all kinds of colors in there for you. So, all right. So, and these basting clips are like absolutely necessary, in my opinion, for making bags. So you can hold everything together. All right. Move those to the side. So the next thing, these are fantastic as well. Really nice for when you're doing zippers. And it's basting tape. So here's the by Annie's, and it's 20 meters. So 2 rolls at times 2 meters, and this is the 1/8 inch one. So it's very narrow. So we've got that one. Again, that's the by Annie, double-sided basting tape. And then we have the Clover one that is a 1/2 inch. So if you've got a little bit wider things going on and you want to hold them together, this is really great for doing that because it can hold it in place. Kind of gives you an extra set of hands. And you can sew right through that. So I'm going to grab a little sip of tea. Thank you. All right, needles. So I had mentioned if you're having trouble with your stitching, going through some of the thicknesses, new needles are key. You want to have the right needles. So I have brought in 3 varieties today for you. So we've got the jeans needles, and we have them at the 9014. They're fantastic. They go through it really well. I really haven't had a problem with it. I know sometimes if you're getting through multiple layers, though, let's say you're fold this in half and you're going through like 6 layers of faux leather, well, you might need it might start to skip stitches sometimes, so that's why you'll need a fresh needle. So I really like the jeans denim needles. 9014 is this one. I also like the 116. So, but this is the one we've got for you today. The top stitch, we've got the 116 in that. This is also a really good one to try. Sometimes different machines take it a little differently, or just how we sew will take it a little differently. But these are both really good for doing the basics. I do also, if you're getting skip stitches, I think PJ's putting it in right now, at least looking at it. I really like the stretch needle. That seems to make a difference on that. And so
I'll go back to this top stitch. I didn't realize those were different.
Oh, okay.
But you mentioned a different size of the jeans needle. That's the
116.
16. Those are in the bubble now.
Oh, okay. So 116, I didn't grab them when I was over in shipping, but we do have them, and they're in the bubble. So if you want the 100, which is just the higher the number, the thicker the needle and the stronger it is. And so, which makes it nice, again, when you're going through these heavier duty fabrics. The stretch one, I kind of like too. Steve turned me on to it. Steve knows everything, I swear. And I think they have a little more movement to them, so they're not as likely to break, I think. And so here's the stretch one. They're 9014s. I think they come in a set of 2.
Yes.
So they come in a set of 2. And so, again, that's if you're having a little trouble with skipped stitches. I still personally prefer either the top stitch one or the jeans in order for when I do my regular stitching.
Okay, so you have top stitch 100 here. I see that.
I do.
Is that
so?
Okay.
So PJ's commenting about how the top stitch I grabbed was 100, and part of that was because I found it in a 100, and I do like using the 100 needles because if I'm having trouble breaking needles, I know that 100 is gonna be the strongest needle I have available to me. So. Someone asked what thread I use. I just use polyester thread. I do not recommend cotton thread. Cotton thread is more likely to fray and break. And so a nice strong polyester thread. I even use my embroidery thread because it is polyester. And so that's what I like. And so let's see, I'm trying to see if there's any more questions. The stretch needles work perfect for me when I'm sewing faux on my accomplish. Oh, thank you, Carol. That's wonderful. And so I think someone's still having trouble getting comments. Everybody's trying to help
I
her
think
out.
that's on the Facebook page. It
Oh,
looks like she's
maybe.
on the Facebook
Maybe.
page.
So,
And I don't know if that's
um,
possible, so I would just recommend.
Gail, PJ's saying that, oh,
I've
sorry,
got
his
a
mic is
yeah,
on.
I've got a mic. So I would just recommend downloading the app. It's free
Okay.
and
So
it's fairly
you may have
easy.
heard that. So PJ is saying that sometimes when you're on Facebook, the comments don't necessarily show up quite the way we want. And so if you don't mind having the app is fantastic. It's free, and it may be easier for you to use. And so, all right. So I think we've got all our needles. And so what do we have next? We just have a few things today. A few as they keep coming. All right, so hardware. I also thought if you're wanting to do the bag independent of the kit, that I would offer you the hardware. And so I forgot to bring in zippers. I can bring in zippers next time, or PJ may even be able to put them in the bubble because we always have the zippers. You need 2 zippers. I think the largest one, here I can look. Zippers. 1 7-inch, 1 12, and 1 7. So you need a total of 28 inches and 3 zipper heads. So what I did in the kits is I gave you 2 zippers. I think I did 2 22 inches is what I went for, or whatever we kind of had that would make it work, but with double heads. All right, so if you want the zippers though, we've got those. I think they'll go in the bubble.
Yeah. So you're saying 20-inch zippers?
We may not have them in there as 20. I think we have 2 30-inch zippers or something like that, as long as they get at least a 22. But we also have the hardware. So this may already be in the bubble. I'm not sure. I'm going to show it to you. We have 1.5 inch. It's the level 3 basics. So you may get the Sally Tomato. You may get our other brand that we've been using a lot. But it's 1.5. It'll come with 2 D-rings. It'll come with 2 swivel hooks and a slider. So you'll get the hooks, you'll get the slider, and you'll also get, you know what? You don't need that part. So these are actually gonna be extra, those hooks. I was thinking we used them in this, I apologize. But you can buy them as a kit like this. And we have them in the 3 colorways. And so it will have everything you need for this handle though. Just also will have extra hooks for you. So you'll have all that material. And then we have magnets for the front. And so we have the magnets here. We have them both in round and square. So you'll get one of those. I have them in nickel. And then I also have bag feet. And so the bag feet we have in nickel. So you can see I have all of this in the nickel. So that gives you the full set that you need. Right? Is that everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got the bag feet, we've got the magnets, and we have the hardware for the handle. So that's all 3. Now I don't have the magnets in the other colors, but I do have bag feet in the antique brass. So I've got those that we can line up. So
Okay, and then next.
we've been doing nickel for everything, so that's why I've got plenty of the nickel.
Yeah,
So.
it does look good. Are we recommending here's a double pull zipper that's a 2-pack of 30-inch zipper.
Perfect.
Okay, and these are black, I believe.
Perfect.
Oh wait, no, they have we have all options here: green, blue, red, white.
Okay.
There are some black here.
So for the zippers, we're going to go ahead and put in there 2 30-inch zippers. So they're going to be a little longer than you need, but it's much easier to work with longer than trying to fit it too small. So that's something that we carry in stock all the time. We actually are able typically to get a little bit better pricing on the 30 inches as well. So sometimes that's what we go with, just so that we can give you the best price. So, all right. Oh, Carolyn, thank you. I appreciate that. She said I was doing a good job. Great show. All right. So some of the things that we need, well, I'm going to show you this first. So this is really nice, especially when we're using these bulky fabrics. And so this is kind of a littler one. Some of you may have the big one, but this is a little roller. And what it's nice for is seams. So when we stitch together these seams, we've got these big seams here where a lot of things are meeting. And you're able to, if you roll on this, it helps press that seam out, especially when you can't use an iron. So we've got this, look at this color, it's so pretty. It's like baby lock blue. So I'd say Tiffany blue, but you know, we're baby lock. So anyway, just really nice for pressing those seams down. And so just a great tool to have. And so again, that's that for holding down the seams. Oh, Joanne says I'm good at lives. Joanne, thank you. I love compliments. Keep throwing them at me. So, all right. So the next thing is the Shape Flex. So we use a lot of Shape Flex in this. This, if you're very careful in how you cut it, is enough to do the entire Morgan bag. And so, so we've got that. Again, it's a 60-inch by 1 yard. So it's Shape Flex, which is kind of a light to mid-weight interfacing and fusible on one side. It's like a fabric that just has kind of this gritty side that you then can iron onto things. So again, that's SF 101 is also what it's called, or Shape Flex. So Bosal, you will also need Bosal or Soft and Stable, something like that. 1 yard. So this is the 36 by 58. So 1 yard. This is what I used for mine, and this was enough to do it, plus a little bit extra. We kind of want a little extra because if you're going to do those bonus projects, you may want to use some of these materials to line and give it some more shape. And so like this one, I think I used heavyweight fusible fleece on, but you could certainly use a Bosal and give it more shape than that. And so, but anyway, so that's the Bosal. This one happens to be a single-sided. For the Bosal, you do not need anything fusible for it for this project. So it's just, these are sometimes what we have in stock and what we have available to you. You can use it. It's not going to harm anything because we're going to baste it in. And so, but if you're like, I really don't like that stuff, I don't want the fusible stuff if I'm not using it, we have by Annie's Soft and Stable, and we have it in both the 2 yard set and the 1 yard. And so I don't know which one PJ has up first, but so this one is 72 inches by 58 inches. So really big size. And if you're into bag making, you know you're going to use it. And then this one is 36 by 58. And again, these are not fusible, so there's no fusing on it. It has kind of a fabric on it that's almost like a soft flannel. And so it helps it stick to things. And so it kind of sticks to your fabric to help keep it moving around. And so, oh, Fran, thank you. Look at all these people. I'm loving you guys. And Joanne, she's commenting about my first live where I had no idea what I was doing and I was very nervous. So, all right. So, oh, this wasn't for me, but I can certainly tell them about it.
Sure.
All right, guys. So this was left on the table, and we thought, well, it showed up in ours, so we'll give it to you. So this is the driver. So when you're changing the foot, so when we go and switch to our digital dual walking foot, this is really nice for this little screwdriver set for pushing on and turning. So you may already have it, but it is, it's really nice because it goes over the end, and that way when you go to turn the screwdriver, it stays put. And so sort of an accidental item for us today, but it doesn't hurt. And so.
Well, that's okay.
Okay. And then we also have the Teflon zipper foot. So we're going to be putting on a zipper, and so the Teflon makes it really nice, especially when working with the faux leather, because it really helps move that along. And so, so anyway, that again, that's the Teflon zipper foot. And so, oh, that is heavyweight fusible fleece. Okay. Poor Peter, there is nothing on this, but this is the heavyweight fusible fleece. It's in, I believe, a 2 yard increment. I'm looking for.
I think so. I have Decor Heavy Bond. Let's see, is this the right thing?
Let's see.
2 seconds here.
Sure.
This is fusible Pellon, heavy fusible Pellon, 14 by 20. Do I have the right product there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do we not have a heavyweight fusible fleece?
A heavyweight fusible fleece. Let me see if I can throw it in.
So this is what we've been using for all the table runners, and it's really a great product. If PJ's trying to find it, but sometimes our products look a lot alike, and so if he's not able to find it fairly quickly for us, because I think this might be our last product, then we'll show it again for you next week. But you don't need a lot. It's kind of one of those things, it's more of a scrap that you need. I think if I look at our list, because we've got this wonderful list that is under here somewhere.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, he has it, so I don't have to find the list. But anyway, I think there were only 2 pieces. I think it was item D that we needed 2 pieces of fusible fleece, and it was a pocket. So, all right. So this is 2 yards.
2 yards, yes.
By how much? Does it give the?
It doesn't have the.
Okay. So it's.
No. Sorry.
So this is the heavyweight fusible fleece, and it's 2 yards by a mystery length. We're going to find out though, because that seems like a reasonable detail to tell you. All right, so it's folded in half.
Oh, 45-inch wide.
Oh, I was just going to say the same thing. So PJ and I got the same number. So it's 45 inches wide, and it's 2 yards long. So 45 by 72, and that's that fusible heavyweight fleece. And it is a dream to work with. It is so nice. I just made a bunch of baby things for Lauren. She's my oldest stepdaughter. And so it just gives a really nice feel to it. I made some changing mats for her and a cute little changing bag. In fact, I probably should have brought it in today to show you guys because it's super cute. So maybe next week I'll just tell her she can't have it yet. The baby's not due till mid-May, so I've got a little time. So anyway, this is the fusible medium or a heavyweight fusible fleece. And so great product. And I think that's it. All right. So again, thank you all of you for being here today. If you have any comments about the Bag Club, I know a few of you have called or stopped in and talked to me about it. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great way for us to kind of plan ahead. I know sometimes we think, oh, you're only going to get 20 of these bags, and then 50 of you decide to do it. And I'm like, oh, shoot, now we have to try and find supplies. So I'm hoping by doing the Bag Club and sort of pre-selling, we can kind of handle that a little better and make sure when we go to do a class, we can start on time. Because I know this one, we kept pushing it out in order to accommodate getting the kits in. So anyway, like I said, if you have comments, I would love to hear them. I'll be here tomorrow as well. I tend to answer the phone on Wednesdays, so you can even give me a call and let me know those things or email. So again, next week, please, we'll have all of our linings put on, everything cut, and we'll get started on our linings. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here, and I will see you next week at 3 o'clock. Kathleen and little Deb, who is in here, will be here to work on Glorious Summer. So great project. You're gonna love it. All right, thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.